Get your hands off my property. Get your hands off my property now.
No, we're way past that. You can either step out of the view.
Let me undo it. I'll get out. I'll get out.
I'm just trying to watch.
Get out of here! Go over there!
You do not have a gun, you do not have a whip.
Hello guys, today I'm going to show some controversial videos. Maybe the driver is not always right, and that's why I wanna discuss it with you. And if you wanna support my videos, I will be very grateful to you. Above, I'm broadcasting everyone who has helped me. Thank you, and let's get started.
My property. This is private property. Don't touch it.
Okay. I need your registration.
Hey, you're touching my property. Get your hands off my...
I need your registration.
Sir, get your hands off my property.
I need your registration.
Sir, get your hands off my property right now. Get your hands off your... Get your hands off my property right now. Get your hand... I'm not committing any crime. I refuse to contract with you. Get your hands off my property right now. Get your hands off my property. Get your hands off my property now.
Registration to your car?
Get your hands off my property.
Do you have a registration?
Get your hands off my property.
It's a misdemeanor.
Get your hands off my property. Get your hands off my property now. Get your hands off my property. I refuse to contract with you. Get your hands off my property. You have my passport right there.
What's a contract?
Get your hands off my property. Get your hands off my property.
Okay.
Get your hands off my property.
The author of this video explained the situation as follows. While I was out working, a police enforcer pulled me and attempted to contract with me, but I refused to contract with the enemy. But what surprised me more was the insolence of this cop, that he obviously got his hands into the car and instead of apologizing, started making his demands. And we'll move on to the next video.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going? I'm Deputy Diaz, Tonkin County Sheriff's Office. We for the stop with this speed.
Speed.
Yes, sir.
Right before 65, I was slowing down.
You're going 70 in the 65. That 65 sign.
But I was slowing down as I was...
Slow down before you enter into the 65 zone. That sign indicates that the zone that you're about to enter is a 65 mile an hour zone. You're going 70 in a 65 mile an hour zone.
But I was slowing down, sir.
Show speeding, okay? Before I pulled you over, whoever was inside the vehicle was going to get a written warning, okay? You're going to get a written warning because I told you to get a written warning. You have your driver's license and your proof.
Am I under arrest?
You're detained right now.
According to Texas Penal Code 3802, I must be under arrest
You have to have your driver's license.
to ID.
Yes, sir. You have to have a driver's license in order to operate a motor vehicle on the roadway.
Well, I have a license,
Now, do you have a
but
driver's license?
in order for me to hand you my identification, I have to be placed under arrest.
No, sir.
I'm not at all sure this driver is right, and the cop originally pulled him over just for a warning. A lot of people made fun of this driver on the internet, but a little later I'll explain why this video is a great example of what police brutality leads to.
And according to Texas Penal Code 3802.
Yes, sir. It's a traffic stop.
Well, I understand that. It's a detention, but it's not an arrest.
Are you informed that your detention is a form of arrest?
Well, if it's a form of arrest, then I should be under arrest.
Detained right now. You have your driver's license. Does that say Texas driver's license?
Yes.
Okay, may I see it?
You can see it. I have my driver's license right here.
Can I have it so that I can put all the required information in there to issue warnings?
I would, but under Texas Penal Code, I have to be under arrest first. Because I watched it when San Angelo, I went to Walmart.
Is your registration up to date?
And a guy that Texas has gotten rid of inspections, and
So
it's not that I don't want to, it's that by law, Texas Penal Code 3802, I do not have to. I mean, y'all gonna get violent with me, and I'm being peaceful, and I'm trying to go do my thing.
And now, this man will explain why he's acting this way and why he got into an argument with the cop. Apparently, he's had many encounters with cops using force on him, and so he's just afraid that the routine traffic stop might result in force.
never said that I was going to get violent.
Because if I don't do what you want, you will get violent. You will act like a sociopath.
I'm not violent. You're insinuating that I am violent, which I'm
No, sir, I'm not insinuating, because you're calling for backup. And 18 U.S. Code 241 and 242.
I stopped you for speeding, and your registration's expired. So You're not willing to provide me with your.
Well, if my registration is expired, I am no longer under contract
Okay.
with y'all. If my inspection is expired, I'm no longer in contract.
Your driver's license.
I would, but I do not have to under 3802.
Unless you're under.
I have, yes, but if you make an arrest on something that is a secondary offense after being arrested,
There's only three things I cannot arrest for in the state of Texas: speeding, texting and driving, and open container. Okay, I cannot arrest for any of those, but I can arrest for expired registration because you're operating a motor vehicle on the roadway in Texas without valid registration.
I'm not as well versed in the law as many of my viewers, so I certainly don't want to defend this driver. Write in the comments who's right here. But I feel like this conflict wouldn't have happened if most cops didn't use force, and people weren't prejudiced against them because of it.
I'm trying to be as polite to you as possible.
and I'm being polite too. I'm not getting loud. I'm not hollering. I'm no threat to anyone.
Talking over me.
But I have someone here with the force of a gun and all kinds of other stuff. There's nothing in the U.S. Constitution that gives the state
Okay, right now,
authority over me.
right now your registration's expired. Okay, you're under arrest at this point now. Okay, you're under arrest. If you do not cooperate with me, you are going to catch other charges. Okay, you're going to catch resisting arrest. You're under arrest at this point. Yes, are you under arrest for operating a vehicle without registration? Okay. So you can either step out of the we're way past that. You can either step out of the vehicle willingly, or I will pull you out by force.
See, you want to get violent, so I'll get out. Let me undo it. I'll get out. See, you're getting mean.
You have your weapons on you?
No, sir.
Okay, please.
And someone will say that this is a perfectly adequate cop and the driver had no reason to be biased against him. I will agree with you, but the opinion about cops is formed not only from such videos that we have seen, but also because of such videos that I'm about to show you.
I'm not doing that. Stop it. Stop it. Put the baby down now. Stop it. Hey, please get the baby. Please get the baby. Back up. We're trying. Back up. Come on, man. Get off the baby. Squeezing him. Stop. You're squeezing me. Stop. We're not squeezing you. I'm going to go yes you will. Hey, please stop. Hey, be careful. Your baby head. Your baby head. Be careful. Let him go. Let him go. Please stop. Go for me. Somebody grab the baby. Go for me. Somebody grab the baby. Get his face. Let him go. Hey, stop. Hey. Hey, don't touch me, bro. Don't touch me. I'm just trying to record. I can record legally. Yeah, but you're obstructing my investigation. I'm just trying to watch. Get out of here. Go over there. No. My workplace, bro. This is shit. Back up. This way. I'm recording. That's right. You can record. You need to let us do our job. Go ahead, bro.
You ask me what the hell is going on here? A man and his wife and young children were just sitting in the restaurant. The cops came in, pepper sprayed him and beat him up, and he had nothing to do with the crime.
Kenosha police officers were responding to reports of a rollover crash nearby where multiple people fled the scene. Cops first entered the restaurant asking employees if they had seen any individuals fitting that description of criminals, but an employee said they had not. They then returned to the restaurant once more and started harassing Jermel English. The complaint says the woman who was with English was fighting with another officer while English was being detained, and that an officer witnessed her actively pulling her arm away as police tried to take her into custody. Police officers also deployed pepper spray without letting anyone know, so all people were having some respiratory issues. Police later found the individual suspected of fleeing the crash, hiding out in the men's bathroom of the restaurant, but that in no way justified the fact that an innocent man was beaten and all the people around him were pepper sprayed.
As I said, today is a day of controversial videos, and right now I'm going to show you how in Australia a lawyer arrests a judge during a court hearing. I don't think this is normal behavior, but I'd like to discuss it with you anyway.
We're engaged in the Bill of Rights 1688. You must stand. Okay. You've got to stand down. I'm taking this as an application that I received myself. I declined to do so because no basis was shown for there being any means that I refuse myself in this matter.
Judge Botman, you're considering treason against the King of England. You are now charged, you are under arrest, because you have now broken Section 80.1 of the Criminal Code Act 1995.
Sorry, if you have your now, I will...
You have now been charged under Section 80.1 of the Criminal Code Act 1995. Please leave me alone, because you stand under the crown with that crown on your badge. You are standing under the crown, the royal seal. Judge Botman, you are now charged under Section 80.1 of the Criminal Code Act because you don't have an applicant. You are trading in necromancy. You are treating dead people in this courtroom, and so is Mr. Mark Douglas Murray, who's been charged for perjury. Most importantly, you do not have a copyright from the First Nation people, and the Parliament of South Australia have recognised the First Nations.
I don't think this kind of behavior is acceptable in court, but it definitely causes a public outcry, and guys like me wanna talk about it. Maybe through such a strong showing, this man can get justice.
You are in treason. You are in treason. You must stand down under the Bill of Rights 1688 now. We're calling the Australian Federal Police.
This has gone to
You can leave. You can leave the courtroom.
This has gone to Interpol. Everything has gone overseas now to the United Nations.
You are concealing crimes against South Australia. You have now removed South Australia from the national referendum under that crown that you are standing underneath. You do not have a governor. You do not have a writ. You must stand down under the Bill of Rights. We claim the court, and we are seeking orders that this matter has now been dismissed because of treason and breaches of Section 80.1. We want the record for the Australian Federal Police. This is now a federal matter. Section 80.1 of the Criminal Code Act 1995.
Thank you. Court adjourned. Thank you.
I need an order. I need an order.
No,
Section 80.1 has been
So you can multiply your name in court, right?
We need all your names, by the way.
Look, Stephen, Estacios, what does that mean?
We need names of all these people.
The most interesting thing is that the judge didn't even try to answer him, which makes me think that he might be telling the truth. In addition, at the end of the video, you will see how the hall explodes with applause, and apparently all the people sitting in the courtroom now that this man is fighting corruption.
We need an order that this matter is now being closed for the treason and Section 80.1. They are going to be recorded because we've got witnesses here of what has happened. This is the greatest crime against the Australian people. Judge Boxley is no longer a judge. She has abandoned ship because she left under the charge of Section 80.1, which is a statute law without a plain or a king. Now they're bringing in the reinforcements, and we are now holding our ground to say that this is now a crime scene. We need to call the Australian Federal Police. We need an order that this matter is now closed on treason. We need an order from the associates now that this is now closed because the judge has now left the ship.
Are you refusing to leave the courtroom?
I'm standing under Section 80.1.
Are you refusing to leave this courtroom?
Show me your jurisdiction.
I'm asking. No, I'm directing you under the Sheriff's Act, and everyone
Which governor do you
can now leave the courtroom.
Which governor do you have served?
I've asked you under the Sheriff's Act.
Which governor has approved the Sheriff's Act?
I've directed you
I need
under
your
the
name. Now I need your name.
I'm going to oblige you.
Yes, you are.
Friends, write your opinions in the comments. I think we have a lot to discuss, and anyone who wants to support me, I ask you to send how much you can spare by pressing the thanks button. This channel exists only because of you.
Oh dear.
Stand adjourned. Everyone wants to
Sorry, can I have your name too?
No, she doesn't do that.
Is this a court or what? So who do you stand under? Who do you guys stand under?
We stand under Australia and under the re-pledged oath by our Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, who re-pledged his oath of allegiance to the King of England. This is not a court under the King's Court because that is a fake crown. That is not what we're standing under any laws because there's no governor in this state. I've got the documentation to prove it. Thank you, sir. We are leaving this courtroom in honour. We are now saying that we want a court order that this matter is now closed under breaches of the Criminal Code Act 1995, a statute law.
Bobby doesn't understand.
No, he doesn't.
Bobby doesn't understand.
Can I get someone to count how many sheriffs are here because they will all be putting our affidavit to the federal police?